Hey, long time no see. Still crazy over here. So I don't come on here to waste your time or my time. And I've really been integrating all the epiphanies and messages and understandings that I've had taking place over the last couple of weeks. And I had so many messages coming through about, see it like it's a game, see it like it's a simulation. And then I was led to that Elon Musk video where he is having the interview with that Saudi prince or royalty. And Elon's explaining, do you think it's possible that at some point our simulation for like games can become so incredibly thorough that we would have no idea if it was a game or if it's what we think is life. And the prince was like, I'm assuming it was a prince. He was a beautiful man from another country, very Eastern, looked like royalty. And he said that he absolutely believed that we would get to that point. And then Elon drops the bomb or drops the microphone by saying, how do we know that we haven't already gotten that good? Like, how do you know you're not in one right now? And as much as nobody wants to think they're just some, non-character player NCP in a game, I don't think that we are NCPs. Even, I'm just going to try this scenario on for size. Trying it on. Let's play what if we live in a simulation. And we're all plugged into the Matrix. And we have decided that the hogs that had all the codes are going to get knocked out of ruling, and we're going to steal back the codes or rewrite our own codes, and we're going to make this game our own because F the way it's been handled for the last few thousand years. You know what I'm saying? Hey guys, how you doing? The Serious V Squad. All right, so playing with the ideology that we are in a simulation and we are done with how it's been, and we are rewriting the code and making our own game, making a new game, rewriting the rules. So I got, it's crazy. These were all inverted. I got participation and 222. I love that. My friend Jules is all about it. Participation, existence, and sorrow. Okay, I can't make that up. You saw I was just pulling these cards, and so it's very on point about the what if scenario that we're playing with right now. So I'm gonna put these back in the deck and go, okay, so we're accepting this for the moment. Now what to do about it? How do you proceed forward? How you doing, brother? From another mother. So moving forward, rewriting the rules, the collective awakening. Oh, I just got some confirmation there. Inner voice, listening to our inner voice to step away from the old paradigm into the new paradigm. And how many of you guys have a very loud inner voice as of lately? I mean, I'm embracing my crazy, because if I don't, it's going to drive me crazy not to follow it through and find out what's really through the looking glass. You know what I'm saying? So embracing the crazy, rewriting the Matrix, and making this game our own. Inner voice. Our inner voice is like, yo, I'm ready to join you. You know, team wake up. ripeness, coming into our ripeness. This is coming into our awareness, our self-empowerment, almost being ready to do this and take control. Take control of our lives, our self-empowerment. I'm ready. You guys ready? I'm feeling ready. So, embracing the crazy. What if this is the matrix? This, and then I've got aloneness. So inner voice, ripeness, and aloneness. And these two are inverted. So this is something that we are dealing with. And as we deal with this, listening to our inner voice, going within, the answers will come, and we will be brave and have the courage to move forward, even if anyone else thinks we're loony. Integration. Did I say this word? I feel like I said this word already. Integration. Integrating the knowledge, that wisdom within that we are getting. That information that there's no other way we could hear it unless we take a moment and drown out everything else around us that is chattering in our ears about what is and what was, mainly what was. What's supposed to be. Those are the things that are so difficult for us to let go of because it's programmed in us. And outside of metaphor for us doing the matrix scenario, it's literally programmed in us because it has been our lifestyle that has been created for us to birth in and be raised in. And I think that's why teenagers have such a hard fucking time going through all that, because they know this is horseshit. And children don't have as much of a struggle because they're still totally cool playing make-believe and don't give a crap what anybody thinks about their crazy. It's embraced because they're children. And then as they become tweens, they're like, you know what? Something doesn't smell right. I'm being forced to make bullets out of copper, and we're not even at war. And by saying that, I mean the whole Western school that we had. It's finally becoming more. It's finally growing into an expansive, creative format. But for a very long time, it was do your math this way, and you have to take these courses whether you're interested or not. And if you misbehave, then you are not allowed to attend recess and have a good time. So teenagers are like, screw this. I don't like this reality, and it's being shoved down my throat. Finally, the grown-ups are catching up. And I think it's apropos that we were like, oh no, the millennials, man. Well, you know what? They're the ones bringing the change. They're the ones with the balls that are coming through with the whips and clearing the way, bringing the change for the rest of us suckers who have fell for this quietly for a very long time. Just one woman's opinion. But I feel it in here that we are breaking through. And some of the messages that I've had this week have been, as we awaken, and we are, because it was new, because it was the bunch of the butterflies splitting out from the chrysalis, we were all taking notes and comparing notes and telling each other how ugly and horrific and stressful and weird it was trying to bust out. And in doing so, it kept us from spreading our wings and flying, so to speak. I love metaphors. I can't wait until we're talking reality instead of metaphorically. So we are holding each other back in the exact same way soap operas and tabloids and locker room gossip, so to speak, all this bullshit, this drama that we love to regurgitate, keeps us from being present and moving forward. And even though it's a much lesser model of that, us comparing our ascension symptoms and whatnot is still doing the same thing. It's moving in the right direction at a very slow pace, but it's still very much the same thing. We got to get to a point where we can be present enough to just move forward and stop regurgitating the drama, comparing notes on, oh, I'm having hot flashes and I sleep 13 hours a day. We've all been doing this for the last year. So some of us for a few years, and we had no idea we were going through it. So it was a very healthy momentary crutch for us. But now I very much feel it is time to put the crutch down and start walking on your own 2 feet again. God, metaphor, 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 and metaphor. So, inner voice, ripeness, aloneness, integration, friendliness, and schizophrenia. So, this is very much what I was just talking about. Having your mind all over the place. You're wanting to connect and find your tribe. We all are. And we were doing it by being crutches for one another while we were going through all this new crazy shit. But it is time to trust the process collectively and get this schizophrenic out of our minds and just trust it's time to move forward. Look at this. This is a person that's torn between 2 worlds. If that's not society right now, I don't know what is. It's almost 3 worlds or 4 worlds, because we have this middle room that I think we've all been in, anyone who's awakening. And then we have the ascension, and we've got the birds or the angels or whatnot over here. So this is like the 4 worlds, and this is all spirits and souls and mental faculties going, where do I go? Which way is up? And my only one and only answer for myself and for you, my dear sweet friends, is follow your bliss. Do what you love. Create patterns in your life. Like, I've been changing my behavior. Like, I took all my social media off my phone. And then I limited all my streaming down to 1, and I'm really trying to focus on what is important. So painting more, like you can see the stuff I'm working on in the background there. There are things. I have a book that I have had for months that I'm going to start writing, this incredible historical fiction, sci-fi, fantasy, badassery that is my life. But it will not be a biography because nobody would believe it. And a lot of it has to do with like childhood fantasies and whatnot. So, but I'm making a movie out of it. It's been sitting here for months. So by limiting my time on social media and being planted in front of the not TV, but movies, streaming movies, I'm going to make time for that. You know, I'm starting to do yoga incrementally, at least a few times a week. I'm trying to make that a daily thing. Changing behavior patterns of things that were just certain, like, I don't want to say, I was about to say condition. I looked down, the conditioning card is sitting here. But things that we sort of settled for to be our day-to-day routine in life. So cleaning that up a little bit, simplifying it, and little by little gearing a little bit more time, an hour a day, painting or writing or something that you love and that you have been putting off forever. Little by little, start making that passion your focus, your goal. Because we have a few months to a year left of the world cleaning itself up and reorganizing and figuring out what's going on. And there is literally no better gift or no better time for many of us who can just sit back on unemployment and rewrite our story. That's a fantastic idea. Social media off my phone. Thank you. Patterns, yes. Simplify. Yeah. So you and I have been on a very similar journey for the last year or so. So I could see how that would be an easy step. My brother from another mother. Past lives. So some of us have experience with deja vu. Some of us feel like we absolutely remember who we were in a past life. I know there's a documentary called The Ghosts in My Child about all these children being born with verifiable stories about who they were and how they died before this incarnation. And they literally had a paper trail to follow and prove that these people had been here before. Okay, so I got past lives and turning in, back with the inner voice, and they were both inverted. So these are skills that we are honing. Understanding past lives, because it's interesting. And yeah, you always hear there's no time, there's only now, yada yada, but we have all these multiple layers of self and history and connection of things that we feel profound about. And why in the heck would we ignore those things, you know? So embrace your crazy. Write your story. Oh, and then we got the thunderbolt, the thunderbolt, the shakedown, the breakthrough, the rattle in the cage. This is breaking you out of your old patterns. If you don't do it, the universe is going to assist you in doing so. And as someone who has been stubborn and had that happen, it's much easier if you do it on your own terms. Zephyr, I have tried taking you outside like 5 times, and you stop at the door every time. It's not happening. We have a bunch of snow like all the way up to the door, and my dog takes off running this way every time, even though he wants me to take him out repeatedly. Okay. I'm going to change decks here, but not change gears. We're staying on course with this. Playing the what if game if this is the Matrix, rewriting the code, embracing our crazy, simplifying our life from the shit we were conditioned to be satisfied with, being addicted to sitcoms or sports or whatever, something that you were just like, yeah, it's something I do just because I've always done it. And making time for stuff you love. This is the 4 of Cups, and it was inverted. This is looking for the good, inner peace, love, meditation. And this is also dealing with doubts. And it is very difficult to move forward when you have doubts. And that's very much been a part of my story for the last few weeks. Is prior to embracing my crazy, I had to deal with, oh shit, what if I am the loon? What if I was the one going around saying this is what awakening is, and this is ascension, and look what these bad guys that have been in power are doing. What if I'm the one that's actually spreading the fear, and this is all backwards? You know, it's like it can totally make you a head case. But I say trust your heart, trust your intention, and go from there. Because there is so much disinformation floating on the airwaves that there's nothing you can do but trust your intention, trust your heart, and go from there. Because the rest of it's just throwing straw in the wind. I don't even know what's true. But you know what makes you feel amazing. You know what your passions are. You know that thing you've ignored doing that you would prefer to do than that shit job that you've done just because you're supposed to pay your bills. Well, right now, if you can muster up the ability to chalk out any kind of time, for your passions. It will pay off greatly, I promise you. I promise you, it will pay off for you. You will find passions in a will to live beyond existence. You will want to wake up in the morning if you will pay attention to things that you love in your life. Okay, so this was the Five of Swords. This is also, don't listen to naysayers. Don't listen to gossip. Don't listen to the jealousy and the backstabbing. Learn your lessons. You need to stay grounded. And this is why it's so sacred and personal, because if you throw it out there on social media that we're all in a matrix and we're rewriting the code and people are like, oh, you're just one of those conspiracy people. I think by now most of us have kind of eliminated that stock out of our crew, and our tribe is loosely gathered, because I have 2,000 people on Facebook, and I don't remember how I became friends with them. I get things on there saying somebody accepted my friend request, and I'm like, I didn't friend request anyone. I haven't in like a year, but I've had several of those this year. So Facebook be playing games. But trusting your tribe, not the naysayers, not the people that you've known since third grade who are very right wing, left wing, go to church, different. They absolutely have to follow someone and follow someone else's rules. They don't stand on their own feet. They have to have someone else create their world for them. And you standing on your own and wanting to create your own environment and rewrite the code, rewrite your life, rewrite your rules, be self-empowered, threatens their very existence. That is why we have warred over religion for eons, because we are, when I say we, I mean that term loosely, as the human race, we are not stern enough and grounded enough in our beliefs to not question them when someone else has a different view of life. And something that I'm hoping the world will finally wake up and realize is that Earth, Terra, Nova, Gaia, this environment we all collectively created for many truths to exist at once. We created this environment to coexist. This is where the coding can explore infinitely into new realms of understanding and experience. We came here to coexist, not to fight about it. We wanted the differences because it helps us to expand ourselves, our beliefs, our experiences. We wanted the expansion, and we created an environment here on this planet for many conflicting truths to be true at the same time. It's a multiverse, and there's layers to life. And as soon as we let go of having to have people agree with us and be agreed with and agree with them and just, unclench, the world would change literally overnight if we would unclench and stop thinking anybody needs to agree with you. They don't. You don't need to agree with them. They don't need to agree with you. But first and foremost, you don't need to be mad about it. You don't need to feel threatened by it. It's a beautiful thing to coexist with a variation of beliefs, because it helps us to expand our own expression of life in this time-space fabric of the universe continuum that we are playing with right now. Boom. Hold on. I'm throwing cards all over the place, and I find relevance in these ones that I throw. So let's see what I threw. Ooh, well, okay. The Magician and the Ten of Cups. This is, can't make this up. Create and follow your dreams. Don't be oblivious. Take a step. This is a voyage of discovery. It's the beginning, but you have to take the step. You can't let anybody else interfere with that. I was on the phone yesterday with some government bullshit over insurance, and she wanted me to sit there for 20 minutes while she was going through the pages to process me closing out my insurance. And I was like, I am not your sheep. You already know that I want to close. You know the date. I'm hanging out now. You know? I know she was just sitting there like, no, you're supposed to be totally cool with doing what the program says. And I'm not. I'm not going to do it anymore. That's their rules. But I'm not saying for you to follow me blindly in that, because I'm a little bit of a ballsy rebel. That's just how I'm doing this. Okay, we got the 9 of Cups and the 10 of Cups and the Fool, the 0, the beginning. It's pause and be happy. It's keeping it simple and resting and finding your passion, following your passion. You're on the right path when you follow your passion and you do things that bring joy to your heart. It will bring your goal even nearer and nearer just by feeling the feels that it provides for you, let alone the actual work that you can, the progress you can make. I'm working on 3 paintings right now. I totally dig that. I haven't painted in over a year, and it's just like, create, floodgates open, must paint, play with music, and I'm so stoked. I feel totally different about life. I don't feel like a bird in a cage anymore. And then the 3 of Swords, be original. Work, create, and be original. You can't, I know I say this repeatedly, you can't make this shit up. You can't make the cards up, they're just flowing and backing up and verifying and confirming what I'm saying right here. All right, I'm going to pull out another deck. Woo! I worked up a sweat. I just feel excited. Okay, another thing that came to me while I was playing with this simulation, it's all a game or it's just a show scenario, is when you're trying to process some of the horrors that have floated around the internet about some people and some children and some horrific things. If we're on a game and a simulation, we have no problem diving in a video game and playing the bad guy and shooting everybody, winning, taking the prize. So if you start looking at life like that, you will stop hating on the horror and just move forward and find your own way to collect your coins. I got dream big. Find your own way to collect the coins. It doesn't have to be through icky, dirty deeds. We are rewriting this code, rewriting the script, so it doesn't have to be done by fucking people over. You can achieve greatness by being worthy and just knowing you're worthy, dreaming big and worthy. I just want to send some love out right now. I just feel like giving love. Okay. Just going to do a couple more cards and then wrap it up. A new dawn. Okay. Dream big, worthiness, a new dawn. I can't make it up. I can't make it up. You are worthy, my friend. If you have been on the path of awakening, you are worthy. Because you were ready to do inner work that most people are still oblivious to. And we're hoping they'll get on board and also do inner work and become kind, loving, compassionate. I am very about taking care of yourself and doing wonderful things for yourself. It's also incredible to do wonderful things for other people, but don't neglect yourself. 100%. Pay attention. Paying attention to, because the universe 100% will communicate with us. It will rendezvous with us through synchronicity, I can't tell you how many times in the last couple of years, it used to just be number sequences constantly. But in the last couple of years, it's been, as I'm saying a word, I drive under a sign and the road is called the word I'm saying, or the television says it back to me, or, it comes straight up on my phone. Like, I'm being rendezvoused. That is the universe rendezvousing with you and communicating with you. So pay attention to that, because there are signs everywhere. And if you want to call them signs, I call it communication. That's when your third eye is open, you're communicating, and you can see, you notice it is clear to you, and somebody standing next to you may not find it that magical, but don't let them dampen your moment. It's your moment. Okay, I'm gonna couple more cards. Couple. Anything else to close this out? This incredible energy reading of a new dawn, a new day. Follow your passion, simplify your life, and make time for your passions. Rewriting the code through kindness, compassion, passion. Rewriting the code. Mother healing. I still have a little bit of that work to do. I think I'm almost done. Also, our beautiful planet Earth, our Mother Gaia. I would say collectively we harbor a lot of guilt for how she has been treated. Love you too, brother. Setting your sights higher. Setting your sights higher for Gaia, for your diet, for the way you entertain yourself, for the people you hang out with, for the foods you eat. That's something I've kind of picked up on too, is going a little bit gourmet. I'd always surprise myself now and then over the years with a few treats, but like really going gourmet with something that instead of it's just food you're eating, becomes an experience. That is an incredible way to start my day. Making the best cup of coffee in the morning with my coconut oil and my cinnamon is a wonderful way for me to start my day. I've done yoga enough over the years now. I don't listen to somebody else or go at their pace. I just lay there and stretch and listen to my own body as to what it wants to do and where it feels tight. And I do that. I just pulled up the rest card and do this as much as you possibly can right now, because as we have all shifted into these new beings and released old karmas and finished old life contracts, and we are rewriting our reality right now, rest, because this is hard work. It's been a lot of work energetically, and I think that it feels that way because we are so stubborn about letting go of the old ways to do things, the things that we were just satisfied with because they were habitual, and they don't really mean that much to us anymore. Like my parents used to be addicted to Days of Our Lives, and I'm like, what in the what's wrong with you people? I come to visit you twice a year and two different holidays a year, and I still know exactly what's going on with these idiots that you've got on the soap opera. You're literally wasting your life watching other people's bullshit make believe. If that's your thing, fine. That's just not something I understand or get. If it's something you get off on, if it's your tranquility, do you? I can't emphasize that enough. We created Earth to be an environment to coexist, to have differences so we can expand and become more. We have to remember that. That is the greatest lesson in the remembering process. We created Earth to be an environment to coexist. And to coexist, it had to be differences. Otherwise, it would just be existing the same old shit. We wanted the expansion of the differences, the different beliefs, the different cultures, the different foods, the different everything, music, it's so incredible. So much of it is so incredible. And, I'll be 51 next month, and I am still getting my mind blown by certain cultural things that I had yet to notice that I absolutely love. I got all shaky and emotional. I mean this with all my heart and soul. We came here to coexist. We came here to love each other's differences, not fear them, not second guess our own beliefs because someone else has a different one. We came here to coexist and co-create more expansive, new, fantastic ideas with the combinations of our differences. Again, with the worthiness, knowing you're worthy. If you really know this, you will stop letting anyone else create doubt in you, even especially if they are not meaning to and they're just being themselves. You're worthy. Your beliefs are worthy. Stand on your own 2 feet. Be original. That's a tranquility card. I already pulled that. Synchronicity. The signs are everywhere. The universe is talking to you. They're literally everywhere. They're in your numbers. They're in words. They're in dreams. They're in commercials. They're everywhere around you. The universe created all of this, us, everything. You think it's not creative and sneaky and silly and a little bit pervy and sometimes sadistic? It's all supposed to be fucking fun and amazing. Going to that theme park and riding that roller coaster ride, going through the spook house. I love all that stuff. So for the last year, I've been very cautious about the kind of movies and shows and stuff that I watch. And the more I'm trying to really wrap my head around embracing the potential or the possibility that this is a simulation or a game or a show or the Matrix and that we can rewrite the code, I started watching all these Underworld trilogy and all these witch stories because I've always been very connected to that. But I'm not about sacrificing an animal so I can conjure a spell. That's just not who I am and what I'm about. I find animals to be our equals, at least. So I started, I wouldn't say force feeding myself, but just finding one after another to see how differently I view it from if I saw it before or saw it years ago. And nothing, of course, it's scary is silly. Nothing is scary. Nothing that I've watched has scared me. There might be an element of surprise with somebody jumping out and I jump, but as far as fear and going to bed, something's gonna get me, I don't have any of that. I like the whole simulation scenario, knowing that. Have you guys seen Bliss, the Salma Hayek movie? What's his name? I just watched him in another show. It's one of the brothers. Bliss. You think they're dabbling, touching base in and out of 5D New Earth. But in reality, they're on some really badass drugs. And it's perspective. So much of it is perspective. And I was beginning to wonder, I was watching The Haunting at Hill House, and I'm like, could it actually be, because the whole energetic frequency, all that is scientifically proven and confirmed repeatedly. That's not even a conversation of doubt anymore or speculation. It just is. So Could one person be standing in a house that is haunted while the person next to them is not experiencing it the least bit? But the one who is being called crazy just because that is their experience. And the one who isn't is the sane person just because they're not experiencing that right then. All these labels and stuff are just not doing us justice as a society. We got to drop that crap. Okay, so I got waves of prosperity and empowerment. This is how I'm going to wrap this up. Simplifying your life, making time for something that you love to do, and little by little adding to it or doing things you do better. Like I said, don't just make a cup of coffee, make a fabulous cup of coffee. Don't just listen to music, find your favorite music. Don't just hop in the shower, like put some air or aromatherapy and light a candle and just make it an experience and live your life. Experience living without coasting through. Create moments for yourself. Be the mistress of ceremony for yourself and your life. Also, embracing your crazy. And the power of what if is incalculable. What if is up to us. And to create the life you want, you have to make strides, take steps, make room for it. And by doing that, you have to cut ties with the old habitual ways of doing things. So simplifying your life to make room for what you love and creating incredible experiences out of mundane, otherwise day-to-day things. Make your life extraordinary. It is up to you. And because the law of attraction is also a real thing, you create an environment, a frequency, a vibration, an expectation from making that incredible cup of coffee to a gourmet lunch to, incredible yoga to a barefoot walk in the grass. Like having those moments will create the butterfly effect. Pebble in the water. It will create a residual effect of incredible experiences for your life. Hence, self-empowerment, waves of prosperity, creating the life that you want. But you have to do that first thing of making room for the change. Okay, I love you. Cut those cords. Take it easy.